Hey, Buff Nation, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson here. Coming up this week in the Buffalo Stampede, how about that win by the CU men's basketball team, knocking off number 15 Miami in Brooklyn, New York. We're also going to be in the weight room talking with the men's basketball strength and conditioning staff about a new feature they've gotten there for the men's and women's teams. It's a sauna. We're going to stay fully clothed, by the way. We're also going to talk women's basketball. They've got a bit of a break in action, but we're going to talk with 1,000-point scorer Freda Foreman, track and cross country with Mark Wetmore, and women's golf with Ann Kelly, all this week in the Buffalo Stampede. O'Brien from downtown, right between the eyes. A three-ball, number 3 by Luke O'Brien. Buffs on top now by 27 and 1 assist away from it. Turnover, Miami. KJ to the rim. Throw it down with the right hand. 2:15 remaining in Colorado. Rolling. Well, there's some highlights. Colorado Buffaloes men's basketball team knocking off number 15 Miami in Brooklyn. Great game for the Buffaloes. Nearly a triple-double for Tristan DeSilva. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Buffalo Stampede. Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Steve Englehart, strength and conditioning coach here at the University of Colorado. First, it's hot as can be inside that thing. We got to get out of there. And by the way, the good news is, Steve and I initially talked about doing this wearing nothing but towels. But the censors and the administration said that was not going to happen. So we got the strength and conditioning coach here for the University of Colorado up in the weight room at the event center. What do we got going on here? What is it?
We got an infrared sauna here, newest edition. We got it for a couple of reasons, for performance, for mental health. I think it's been great. Our student athletes have absolutely loved this thing. It's probably one of the, as they say, the best edition we bought so far in here. I don't know why they didn't like the new treadmill, but they said this one's better.
So number one, how hot does it get? Number two, what's the purpose? How does it affect athletes positively?
It gets up to about 165 degrees. Wow. Again, it's an infrared sauna, so it's different than a classic rock sauna, right? It has reading lights. Let's take those off real quick, and we can have different light colors, right? And for different moods, right. Seasonal depression. We can have stuff to actually raise your heart rate up. We can also have I think it's a purple to help with inflammation, blue to help with any anxiety or nervousness. So wow. It helps out a lot, especially after a practice. You get in and you can stretch in here, or before practice. Usually we say about 10 minutes if you want to do before practice. If we don't have film, let's sit in there. It's got Himalayan salt, jade stone, which Adam will be talking about later. Unbelievable stuff we have here.
So not only is it a thermal, therapy.
Yep.
There's a light therapy aspect.
Yep, it's chromo light therapy. It's like I said, it's really state of the art with especially with the Himalayan salt for the respiratory, and jade stone for the lymphatic and muscle aches. It's really nice. And you can see they got a television monitors. You can watch the basketball. We got the women playing right there. We got the women playing right there. I was actually watching some film on us against Ione the other day. Tell Coach Boyle that.
An unbelievable addition here to the training facility here at the University of Colorado. By the way, we mentioned up the top, the Buffs get that victory over number 15 Miami, and afterward we talked with assistant coach Rick Ray. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Celebrate responsibly.
Yeah, I think the first thing that happened was that we got stops. That's the most important thing. But we also were able to defensive rebound. I think we were plus 12 on the glass, and I think our guys were really, really active. We spent all week just talking about guarding the ball, because with this team, they get all of their threes off of penetration and kick. And so it's all about the way you guard the ball. So if you can keep them from penetrating, then you can take away the threes with the kicks. So I thought our guys did a really good job of buying into the game plan, but more importantly, executing the game plan. I don't want to be dismissive here, but when you get 28 assists against some of the teams that we played against, the bye games, you can somewhat understand that. But when you go out and get 28 assists against a team like Miami, that means that you're really sharing the basketball, and nobody's buying into the limelight to go out here and, hey, I'm going to go out here and show what I have. But those guys really shared the basketball. And the fact that we didn't have Cody and we didn't have RJ, our guys really talked about playing for those two guys.
There's assistant coach Rick Ray after the Buffaloes get the win over number 15 Miami in Brooklyn. Our camera guy Derek's inside the sauna now, the infrared sauna, and we're going to let him out because we think he might pass out. But Adam Ringler, assistant strength and conditioning coach here at the University of Colorado, joining us here. Okay, tell us about this whole deal. You guys actually got some insight and advice from the academic side before you bought this.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked to Dr. Lowry in the integrated physiology department. Come on in.
All right.
In the integrated physiology department. And he primarily researches, heat therapy, whole body hypertherapy, and looking at markers of depression, well-being. So when we met with Dr. 4 or 5 years ago, it was a real big catalyst for us to be able to get this sauna and try to do some things to help better our student athletes' experience here at Colorado, improve their mental health, improve their well-being, essentially try to help from a psychological health and performance standpoint.
You know what's amazing here, when you think of college athletics years ago and strength and conditioning coaches, there were a couple of meatheads that threw some weights out, and that's what you guys did.
Yep.
Now it's a total body, total person experience you guys are trying to address.
Yeah, I think it's it's the holistic approach to the development of a student athlete. Yes, we're going to train hard. Yes, we're going to work our athletes, but we also, again, prioritize the recovery of our athletes and the holistic experience of our student athletes.
Yeah. Is that a little bit more rewarding experience, doing what you do now compared to what it was 20 years ago?
Yeah, it's not just about throwing weights around. It's not about how heavy we can get the bar. It's about making sure that our athletes develop and then leave University of Colorado with degrees, championships, and a health of skills that can take on for the rest of their lives.
Great stuff. How much time does Steve spend in there?
Too much.
I bet, yeah. He's got to test it out. That's what he's saying, testing it out. Infrared new sauna here at the University of Colorado for our student athletes. Adam Ringler, Steve Englehart joining us here for a couple of minutes. Men's basketball getting the win over number 15 Miami. Coming up next, how about the CU women are ranked 8th in the country and rolling right now. We're going to talk with Freda Foreman.
Rod's not going to shoot the three. Got it to Foreman, who will. Good night. 13-12. So they're hanging there. Foreman steps back, knocks down the shot from the elbow. Run, kick to the corner. Freda fires a three. Yes, sir.
Well, there's some highlights from the 8th-rated CU women's basketball team. All they do is win right now. Freda Foreman had 23 points. Buffs knock off UT Arlington and continue to roll this season. Back at the Stampede voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. There she is, Freda Foreman. What a great start to the season. How much fun are you having right now?
I'm having a lot of fun. It's always fun to make shots, so.
And you're shooting exceptionally well right now.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Does the ball feel good coming off your hand? I always wonder when shooters get rolling, right? Is there a feeling you have when the ball's coming off your hand well?
There's like a sort of like unconscious feeling you get of just like, as long as I get it off, it's going in, pretty much. And it's so much fun to be in that zone. So
shooters don't have a conscience anyway, right? I mean, if you're a shooter, and you're a shooter, you're a very good shooter. By the way, just broke 1,000 points. We're going to talk about that. Shooters always believe the next shot's going in, right? You have to have that mentality, don't you?
Yes, of course, but also you have slumps. I mean, I had 3 games in a row where I made 1 3 each of those games. So sometimes you get in that zone, and sometimes you just have to depend on all the work you've done and think that you can get it back just by choosing your spot and being smart. And sometimes it's just, never I'm shooting, it's going in.
When I'm watching you play right now, upperclassman, obviously, you're a 1,000-point scorer. I look at a player that's got a great deal of confidence, like, I've been here, I've done this, I know what to expect. Is that the case?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you get just like a sense of belonging. I think as a freshman, I came in and also scored a lot, but I was maybe a little bit more shy, or like, am I supposed to do this?
Sure.
Is this okay? When I had a bad performance, I thought everyone hates me, And now it's like, all right, well, I mean, we need me to score. We need me to take those shots, and having that responsibility outside of just scoring too is also helps.
By the way, we never hated you. No.
Oh, thank
Even
you.
when you had a bad game, we never hated you. Are you kidding me? When you become an upperclassman like this, does that give you a little bit more freedom in terms of your conversation with Coach Payne and Coach T, because they trust you, right? You've been around. Can you give them ideas?
Yeah, for sure. I think I talk to them a lot about just like our offense and defense things that I see, spots that I'm comfortable with. And I think now we have a lot of upperclassmen, so we're multiple people who can do that. And I think leadership is just a really fun task. It's very challenging, but I think it's been a lot of fun.
Buffs get the victory over the Mavericks of UT Arlington. And that day, by the way, was a special day here at the Event Center as we had Kids Field Day.
Powered by Ford. Cars, trucks, and SUVs built for America. Built Ford proud.
My name's Tanya Santee, and I'm the principal at Birch Elementary in Broomfield, and we're super excited to be here to watch the CU women's Buffs team. It's been really awesome. We surveyed our kids, and over 70% of our kids had never stepped onto CU campus before, so this is their first experience, and lots of kids have never seen a college basketball game, so we're just really excited to expose our kids to seeing what it's like to be on a college campus. And it's just really cool because it's really important for kids whose parents didn't go to college, for them to visualize themselves on a college campus, so we've found it to be really powerful.
A really cool opportunity. This is the first time we've ever done a kids game. You know, for me, it's not necessarily about having just lots of people in the building, but it's an opportunity for the young people of our community to come and see how awesome these guys are, how cool college is, how cool college athletics is. And so, you know, there was probably at least 1,000 young kids today that came and got to witness what is so special about college athletics. So really excited that we were able to do that.
I think it's always really fun with the kids because they just like scream and they're just so energetic and really fun to play in front of. And, you know, the minute you do something cool, they like, you know, hype you up. So yeah, that was fun.
So all kinds of kids here at the event center as the Buffs knock off UT Arlington. Colorado 8 ranked 8th in the country now. We continue with Freda Foreman. Could you hear the kids? I mean, there were a bunch of them here, boy. Were they making noise?
One thing that kids can do is just scream as loud as they can, and they got so excited, and it was so much fun. I mean, like whenever a shot went in, it's just really obvious that it was field trip day because they were all going crazy.
You just recently became a 1,000-point scorer, 34th women's player here at CU to break 1,000 points. Well, what does that mean to you?
It means a lot. I think it's like a, you know, like just like a honor thing too, and I'm really proud that I've done it like here at CU all of my years. And I wanted to come and really help a program up in the rankings, and I think that's what I've done. So I think it's just kind of being able to stop and just think back on what you've done and what you have ahead of you.
You know, in college athletics, you're becoming a dying breed. And what I mean by that, with the transfer portal, somebody that came here as a freshman, stayed, and has had a great career. There's something special about that if you're bouncing around, you don't have, right? I mean, you've got an affinity for the University of Colorado because you've been here your whole career.
Yeah, I think also that just like over the years, I can see more fans that are like, you know, they're familiar with me, and that means a lot that just, you know, they have someone in me and Jalen like that they've seen for so many years. So I think, it's really special to be able to do that.
This team ranked 8th in the country right now. I mean, you're as good as anybody in America. This team has got a great deal of confidence, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, for sure. But we also are pretty hard on ourselves. So I think there's a lot of things we want to improve in these next couple days we have of just practicing. We want to really improve our defense and a lot of stuff.
Awesome. You got a bit of a break here, about 2 weeks off. You got finals coming up. You ready for tests?
Yeah. I'm getting it done. I'm trying.
She's an upperclassman now. The Buffaloes won't play again until the 21st of December. It's a doubleheader that day with the men and the women. Women take on Northern Colorado. That's Freda Foreman. We'll take a break here in the Buffalo Stampede. Coming up next, we're talking track and field and cross country with Mark Wetmore.
And they are off. The men's 2023 NCAA Cross Country Championships. The view from the sky is beautiful as these athletes are taking out this race quite quick because it is a downhill start as they're chasing that gator up front.
It's the best.
Look at that tunnel of fans that these athletes are running.
Charlottesville, Virginia, as the Buffaloes and the rest of the country, the national championship in cross country, back in the Buffalo Stampede. It's the ever important, always famous Mark and Mark segment. We talk with Mark Wetmore, cross country and track coach here at the University of Colorado. We come from the indoor practice facility. All right, I know cross country's been over for a while. Recap for us about the way you felt about the way the season wrapped up and your thoughts.
This is a family show, isn't it?
You have to clean it up, yes.
Okay. It was not a season we aspired to. Mm-hmm. It was not the season that we aspired to. We were pretty disappointed. I don't think any athletes will be annoyed that I say that.
Sure.
It was one of our least rewarding seasons. And so we have to go back to the drawing room and figure out what didn't go well, why it didn't go well, and do it better.
So I know in football, you go back, you try and come up with new schemes. In basketball, you might do a few things like that. What do you do in cross country and track when things don't go your way?
Well, the first thing, the most important thing that we have to do is figure out how it couldn't be my fault. Then we go from there to how it couldn't be Heather's fault.
Okay.
And from there, then the hard thinking begins. But yeah, we can do things better, and we got to criticize ourselves, look in the mirror, go for a walk in the woods, and then get back to work.
When a season gets over, as long as you've been doing this, Mark, is there a self-evaluation about the process that we do? Do you look to alter things? Do you look for new ideas?
Yeah, a football coach we had here about 3 football coaches ago, the day we welcomed him, I sat at his breakfast table, and he said, "You won a national championship last year, the year before. When do you start thinking about the next year?"
Right.
And I said, "On the airplane home."
Right.
Yeah, so whether it goes well or poorly, you got a 2.5 hour, 3 hour flight, so here we go.
Let's go, Buffs! Come on, ladies! Come on, ladies! Let's go, Buffs!
All right, let's make a hard cut now from cross country to track. We've got indoor track going on as we stand here in the indoor practice facility. It's been a relatively successful early part of the season, right?
Well, December is a strange month because for the distance runners, cross country ended a week or 2 ago, but the other track athletes and the field athletes have been going since early September and kicking the stall, so to speak. So yeah, they've already had a couple of meets and some good results. Avery's done very well. Yeah, Abby has had a good run, and so off to a pretty good start, although it's preseason, so to speak.
Avery McMullen is who Mark's referencing there. Talk a little bit more about her, what she's done. She set some PRs and broke a 41-year record here at the University of Colorado.
Well, Avery is our school record holder at the heptathlon and the pentathlon, and now at the indoor long jump. Most multi-event athletes, hep, pen, decathlon, are very good at 1 or 2 of the events along the way, and long jump is one of hers. The hurdles are good. So she's ahead of a year ago, on her way likely to the indoor NCAA championships.
Fantastic. We got one of our throwers, by the way, just over our right shoulder over here. Who we got over there, and how's he doing?
Oh, Matt, I think Matt PR'd last week in his first throw of the indoor season. He does the weight throw, which is a cannonball with a handle. And I throw it about 17 or 18 feet, and he throws it 60 feet.
All right, and it won't be that long until the outdoor season. What, the 3rd week of March or so that gets underway?
Yeah, 1 week after indoors ends, outdoors begins, and that's a home meet, one of our 2 home meets that help us prepare ourselves and our facility for the Pac-12 in middle May.
And the Pac-12s are here in Colorado?
That's what I mean, yeah. We got to learn the new facility. They're polishing it up as we speak, a multi-million-dollar renovation, and we have to learn how to use it and learn that everything's working in time for May 12th.
And being that you're the host, how much more work is that for you individually?
Well, I'm doing the best I can to not do any work at all. So I've delegated to a lot of different people. I want to work on having athletes score there and not worry about where the hurdle placement is.
Love it. So. That's the cross-country track coach here at the University of Colorado. It's the Mark and Mark segment with Mark Wetmore. We're going to take a time out here to Buffalo Stampede. Back in a moment. See women's golf coach Ann Kelly winning a prestigious national award, the Kim Evans Award from the WGCA. Back at the Buffalo Stampede, voice of the bus, Mark Johnson. Got my favorite spot here on campus, the golf offices. You got such a great spot here to hang out.
We do. It's a great spot, and we're happy to have it.
What did that mean to get that award, the Kim Evans Award?
Oh, it was a surprise.
Yeah.
It's a prestigious award just because of who it's named after. Kim is she's a former golf coach, a PGA professional, and really battled through a cancer a few years ago. So her courage and everything that she's done, it's really an honor.
You know, it was just not long ago that Ann announced that she was going to be retiring after 27 seasons. This is your 27th right now.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you come to that decision?
You know, I love what I do, and you always want to quit while you still feel good about things. Sure. And I feel like the program's in really good hands with our associate head coach, Madeline Shields. So the time has come to, just take some time, figure out what's next, and become CU's biggest fan.
There you go. Longest tenured women's coach in Colorado history. Here I thought active, you were still behind Coach Wetmore. I thought you were going to chase him down and catch him.
He's too fast for me.
What do you think about over the course of your 26 seasons, now you're 27? What do you think about your time here as a coach and the program and all you've gone through?
There's so many things, but just to see the growth in women's golf here, but in women's golf in general
Sure.
has been incredible. Just the level of play and how far they hit it and the talent they have, that's really been fun. And I think all the former players, just keeping in touch with them and hearing what they're doing with their lives, and that really means a lot. You know, and hopefully we finish out the spring season on a really high note and I fade into the sunset.
Well, you know, I've got a chance to know Ann over the years as well, being here 20 years myself. And you're like a lot of coaches. You're yeah, I'm getting old too. You're a coach, but a teacher at heart. And the opportunity to work with young people, I know, kind of drove you for many years, didn't it?
Oh, and it still does. I mean, that's the greatest part of this job is what I say. You never get bored with it. There's always something new. It keeps you on your toes, and yeah, that'll be the tough part about leaving.
Sure. Yeah. And the evolution of the program over 27 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, from a facility standpoint, from a resources standpoint, it's been a world of difference over your nearly 3 decades.
Oh yeah, I started out over by gate 3 in a storage closet. It was myself and women's tennis, and then we progressed down the concourse here, and now we're here in gate 10, which is just amazing. But Champion Center, the women athletes actually having a locker room.
How about that? Yeah.
Are what we've been able to do out at Colorado National and the indoor facility, and it's been great to see.
When you walk away, what are you going to be most proud of?
Oh wow, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
Geez, I just think the growth of the program, because I mean, like all the programs 27 years ago, we didn't have much at all. I mean, we had flat irons, and now we have 6 golf courses in the area, and just all the women that have come through and what they've done with their lives. They're amazing people.
And you've had some golfers that are going great success. Just recently had a couple that earned their cards, right?
Yeah. Jenny Coleman finished top 10 on the Epson Tour,
Okay.
automatically received her LPGA status,
Nice.
and then Robin Choi just won the 3rd stage of LPGA qualifying school, so she's got her card back.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Awesome. Well, it's not over yet. You still get your spring season.
That's right.
You excited about that?
We are.
You like this team?
We've got great players. We have Morgan Miller and Sabrina Iqbal that have just done amazing things in the fall, have really low scoring averages. They're under par, which is incredible. Nice. And then we have 6 other players that can really play. So we just got to get them all together and get everybody going at once, and I think we're going to have a great spring.
Awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Finish on a high note here,
Yes,
Lee.
sir. Yes,
Been a
sir.
great representative here at the University of Colorado. Ann Kelly, women's golf coach here at CU. And that'll do it this week. Kind of Buffalo Stampede. I'm voice of the Bus, Mark Johnson. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next time.